What's going on, everybody? In our last video, we kind of left it off of where Lazy Days kind of left us hanging with the Blue Ox system, and was it working, was it not working? So today we're going to bring you those answers, and we're going to show you how to hook it up.
All right, let's roll.
So in today's video, I'm going to show you guys how to get into a sling chair.
Just like this.
These aren't the banned ones.
They're what?
I don't think these are the banned ones, right? Didn't they ban some of these?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't know that.
And people are like falling out of them or something.
I mean, I fall. If it was based on that, everything would be banned.
That's fair. In the last video, we kind of told you about our Blue Ox and our Lazy Days experience and what happened. So we wanted to get you caught up. We went to Lazy Days. We took care of what we needed to take care of, with some interesting negotiating.
Yeah, so after the last video, it just wasn't sitting right with Brian on how that system was working, and so he made a call. He called Blue Ox themselves and described what was happening, and the rep, and Brian says, I don't know if that's normal. And the rep was like, no.
Yeah,
no,
like,
it is not.
Nope, sounds like a bad unit, take it back.
Yeah, so they helped us confirm that it was a defective piece, and we took it back to exchange it out. So we went on down to Lazy Days again, and
with the bad part.
Take it from there.
With the bad part.
Yes.
So we walked in with the bad part. We had called beforehand, and we hadn't heard anything back from them. Once we got there, we found out why we hadn't heard back from her.
Yeah.
From the lady. And the lady at Parts at Lazy Days was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Even though she didn't call us back, the reason she didn't call us back was because clearly she had been making phone calls and doing some things in the background trying to get this resolved for us, because they knew, as you can tell, we're back in our RV and we're on one of our first trips after all the service. So she was really trying hard to... we loaded up the bad unit and drove to Lazy Days anyway. So we went an hour and a half-ish, hour and 45 minutes back over to Tampa.
With the bad piece with us. With
the bad part. And so when we got there, they were pretty friendly with us, but they did, we were like, hey, we're trying to get this resolved. We're trying to get back on the road. And they're like, oh, you need to wait for so-and-so. And then people are kind of asking us what was going on and, what happened. And so we kind of told them, you guys told us a bad part. We need to get this replaced. We need to get back on the road. We already called Blue Ox. And they're like, well, all of our managers are gone for the holiday, and which we understand that. It was Christmas Eve. There was the last day they were open for shutdown and everything. So, anyway, so the one guy that was there, that I will call a manager, if you will. I don't know if he was or not.
I don't know.
But he was kind of the guy in charge, if you will. And I just simply told him, I'm like, hey, this isn't working. And he's like, those rarely go bad. And he didn't want to believe us. Took him out to the Jeep, and he strong-armed the Blue Ox, the bad one. And he's like, no, it works fine.
It's doing what it's supposed to do.
Yeah. And I told him, I said, essentially, we went back and forth a few minutes. So finally, he took my strong will or wish for him to really look at this unit. And he took it and he slammed it on the ground, which is not a good way to test the Blue Ox system, by the way.
But it buckled. But
it did buckle, and it gave way. And he's like, all right, you're correct. This is bad. And he was a big dude. So he definitely had some foot poundage there behind it to try to close it against the locks. So we went back inside. He took the bad part in. He told him that it was bad. We need to get it replaced, or warrantied out, or whatever you want to call it.
He wanted to give us the floor model.
Yeah. Which I didn't want. Nope. Because it was already busted. The boot was already hanging off, and it just wasn't going to work. So some lessons learned that we've learned from all of this. Lazy Days on your side, there were some issues, and there were some things that could have been better and could have been done better. The guy that did our demo with us was new. They were trying to find someone to give us the demo. This was his first time doing it.
And it sounds like he learned it in like 30 minutes.
Yeah,
which is big shame on them.
Yeah, so they didn't really have anyone experienced that does flat towing. So we got instructed. I don't know what it is with RVs and demos, but we've yet to get a decent demo.
I know.
So every time. But anyways, it's part of the gig, right? It's part of the life. Anyways, so with all that being said, where are we at today? We're on the road, not too far from home, but we're still in Central Florida. Blue skies,
sunshine,
palm trees.
We're in Central Florida. We got the new part. We hooked it up.
Yep, and we did our first drive. And so what we thought we would do before we came to where we're at today is we hooked it up to the Jeep, and we wanted to walk you guys through how we hook it up and how we set it up. But the wind was really bad, and we kind of screwed up and hooked up the camera wrong. So that's what you get for taking a month off.
Yep.
So anyways, so without further ado, we're going to switch back over to that other video. Gotta love the holidays with the golf carts in Florida. Anyway,
holidays every day.
Yeah. So instead of having the RV right here and trying to get all this connected right out of the gate, I figured what I would just show you is without the RV in front. As you can see, the RV is all the way back there. And but I just thought we'd kind of just show you real quickly how to get everything connected. It's very simple. So we have two of these. This is what the blue ox will connect into, and then you pin through here. So these just slide in like that, and they lock in place. We have two of those. This is our breakaway for our braking system, which we'll show you here in a second. And these are our locking pins that hold the blue ox in place. They are all keyed the same. And then these cables here just get connected in and then brought out to the RV as well. So all in all, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 connections to the Jeep.
Easy peasy.
Yep. So the braking system we went with was the I don't remember the name of it.
A few minutes later.
So this is the braking system we went with.
Yeah, so anyways, we went with a permanent braking system. We didn't want the robot arm or anything like that where you had to take it out and set it up. We just wanted something that was permanently mounted, so we got the one that actually has the air cylinder. It's got an air pump underneath the hood. It's connected right to the Jeep, and then it's controlled through the plug from the RV. So it's all on board, it's permanently mounted. You just turn it on, turn it off, and away you go. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna switch back over to the original video where we actually connected it into the RV, and you can kind of see how this whole process works. And we'll go from there. Sorry for the wind in advance. So one of the first things we already learned, is something to take away, is Blue Ox doesn't give you, they give you a cover for the hitch, but they don't give you a bag for all the accessories and things that you need. So we went to Bass Pro, even though it says Cabela's.
It does. I didn't notice that till just now.
Well, they're the same company now. But anyways, so we went to Bass Pro, we bought one of these bags, and this is where we're putting all of our adapters and cables and connections and everything. So before we get too far, let's go ahead and connect everything up to the RV. Right out of the gate, what you have is you have 4 connections to the RV. You have the power adapter that goes into your trailing. This controls the brake controls. This controls the brake lights on the Jeep and everything else. So this is going to get plugged in the front. You have 2 of these safety cables that hook onto both sides, and then you have the emergency stop connection here. Now, you saw me connect it to the same spot as the cable, but it doesn't go on the cable, because if the cable, if the Jeep breaks free, you want it to have a separate connection. So first thing that will happen is that this will get pulled tight. It'll yank the emergency stop on the front of the Jeep. We'll show you in a minute. And then it'll apply the brakes to the Jeep. So next step, once we have all these connected, is we can pull the Jeep up and we can add the adapters to it. So before I move the Jeep up, the other thing we should do is push these down to release the cylinders. And you'll also notice, if you ever wonder which way is right, which way is wrong, apparently there is a right and wrong because there's an arrow with an up on it. So once these are extended, now we know about how close we need to bring the Jeep in. This is the base plate for the Jeep that we had installed. It's not my favorite orientation for this one, but it's what we got. But essentially, this goes in, only goes in one way. And as you push it in, it's going to pull that pin out, and you're going to twist it until it locks. Once it's locked, it's in there good. All right. So now, with the help of my trusty assistant,
That's me.
she can direct me in to where these are just over here. So your Blue Ox kit always comes with these pins, which are great. They're spring loaded. They did a good job the first time around. But we also, you'll notice that we have a locking pin on our Reese connection that uses one of these keys. And the guy at Lazy Days was funny. He told us that, oh, the thing that you bought for your hitch actually comes with 2 extras, so you have extras. Well, no, it's a Blue Ox kit. So you have 3 points of connection. 1 to the RV and 2 to the arm. So these are actually for the arms that you can use instead of those pins. So we're going to use those. And you get like 6 keys, so if you need them, you got them. Try not to drop one already. And if you're asking yourself, those are a lot smaller than those pins you just took out. Well, they are, but they're strong enough to hold the pin, the hitch in the RV. So chances are they're probably good enough to hold the Jeep. Being new, it's just a little stiff, so I had to twist it a little more.
Get better leverage.
Yep. Come on, hit the hole. Close your eyes. There it is. It's a fact. On our base plate, you just take the one safety cable and hook it up to here. The emergency breakaway is right here. This goes on top, so in case we do hit any bumps or hills or elevations, that'll cause this to flex. We don't want it to get caught underneath the arm. Untangle that. That goes on so. Now these are keyed, so it only goes in one way. It's in there nice and solid, went all the way in. All right, had to do a quick adjustment on the brakes, that's why it wasn't working. Now we got it working, so go ahead and
far so good to me.
Yeah.
How about you?
It's okay. I like it.
Better?
Yep. I'm happy that those things clicked in.
Yes.
Win. It's a lot more stable. There's none of that back and forth.
Yep.
It's a little bit easier of a tow. We've had one panic stop because the light turned yellow as we were just far enough away where we could probably stop, which we did. Barely. But we got there.
And there was no jarring.
And there was no jitter, no jarring, no nothing. I did have to adjust the brakes a little bit more, so that's fine. As long as we're not locking them up when we try to stop, that's good. And so far, it seems to be pretty stable in the lane. The last time we come to a stop, it was swerving to each side of the lane, and you know.
We were scared to death and we were gonna hit somebody.
Yeah, we thought our mirrors were gonna sideswipe somebody else's mirrors if they were close to the line. And right now, we're center of the lane and doing pretty good. Yep, it's a lot smoother of a ride.
More like what you were expecting?
Yep. Thank you, Blue Ox, for
Yes.
saving our ass.
There you go.
So, I think that we're back in the Jeep. It's working. I don't think we broke it.
Nope.
So I would say that's a win.
Yay. Second time's a charm.
Second-ish. Yep.
All right, I think that wraps us up for today then. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit like, subscribe, and leave a comment.
Where are we going now?
I'm not telling.
Come back to the next video and find out.